So this is a advanced math class, first session, and today's lecture is chapter 2 on linear equations. And I believe that you already study linear equations, and many of you already know how to solve it. But we're going to practice today, and trying to trying to improve our problem solving skill and don't make mistakes. We have certain rules of the follow in solving linear equations. Okay. So for a linear equation, okay, so basic rule we're going to follow is, if you have an equation A equals B, okay, then you can always add or subtract the number from both sides. Those two it's the same. You can also, divide or multiply it by a non-zero number, k is not equal to 0. Or, so those are the rules we have to follow in order to simplify the equation, Then we know how to solve the problem, Let's try to look at, let's look at 3 problems here. Solve equation 3x minus 6 equals negative 2x plus 4. This is a very general equation. Now, to solve this problem, we can we can move terms around. Actually, what we're doing is we add a number to the both sides, but looks like we move 6 to the right hand side, change the sign. Then you have a 3x equals negative 2x plus 4 plus 6. So now the number 6 is on the right hand side. So you can say I move 6 to the right hand side, and then I change the sign. So then that's going to be negative 2x plus 10. Then, and what we actually did here is add 6 to the both sides. So we add a 2x to the both sides. You can get rid of the 2x on the right hand side. So it's a 5x equals 10. Then x is going to be 10 divided by 5, both sides divided by 5. The answer is 2. 2 is the answer. All right, so that is easy. So now now we have to deal with some problems involves parentheses. X minus 2x. Some equations like that. So very first step, you have to remove the parenthesis, right? So when you remove the parenthesis, make sure you change, complete all the multiplication. So negative 2 times 3x will be negative 6x, right? Negative 2 times negative 1 would be negative 2. Then you get the equation very similar to the previous one. So you will get negative 5x minus 2 equals 4. Right? Equals 4. Clear? Yeah. Then you add the 2 to the both sides, or you move negative 2 to the right hand side. You change the sign, so that should be equal to 6. Then you divide both sides by negative 5. You will get a fraction, not a negative 1. So that is going to be negative 6 over 5. I hope I did a correct computation. So x minus 2, negative 6, 6 minus 2 equals 4. So that is, that is the answer. All right, so take a look at the next problem. Now, that's another complicated problems, but we have to be very careful when you do the computation. So 1/6 minus 2x minus 1 equals a quarter. Okay, so to solve this problem, see, some coefficients are fractions. So the easiest way to solve this problem is to get rid of the fractions first, right? Every time you multiply the least common, least common multiple, which is 12. Okay, 12 is divided by 6, 12 is divided by 4. So 12 times divided by 6 is going to be 2. 12 times 2 is going to be 24. And the 12 divided by 4 is going to be 3. So that's the first equation you can get. Okay, then you get rid of the parenthesis. So negative 24 times x is negative 24x. But negative 24 times negative 1, it becomes positive 24. Okay. Right. Okay. Then you get 2 minus 24 is negative 22x. I can also move 24 to the right-hand side, which is going to be negative 21. Okay. Then you divide both sides by negative 22. After simplifying, you get 21/22. Now, it's very hard to check whether this is correct answer by plugging it back to the original equation. So you have to be careful in each step. So you check your work, maybe, yeah. I'm going to check if we are able to do this type of problems. So let me give you a problem. Okay. So this is a problem x over 11 minus x over 12 equals x minus half of x plus 1. Okay. So there are lots of terms containing x. I hope you can get the correct answer. So use a fraction for his answer. Don't simplify to, don't approximate using decimal numbers. Okay. All right, so once you have answer, please post it to me. Let me check if you get the same answer. Okay, anyone? Nobody giving an answer yet. So take a look at, you have the x minus half of x is just half of x, right? It's no problem. So x over 11 minus x over 12 is going to be x over 2 plus 1. So we try to find the least common multiple, which should be equal to 11 times 12. So this is least common multiple. so you can get rid of the denominator. Okay, so if the first one multiplied by these two numbers, 11 times 12, you get 12x, and then you get 11x. Okay, then 11 times 12 divided by 2. Okay, that is going to be 66x, and then 11 times 12. Okay, now 11 times, I keep 11 times 12 there. I'm not going to multiply this out. Okay, so 12 minus x, right? It's x equals 66x plus 11 times 12. Okay, right? Then you move 66 to the left-hand side. You change the sign. So when you do the homework, please show all the steps, okay? Clearly write down. You don't need to copy the problem, just put problem number 2, number 3. But on the separate white rule paper, you needed to show all the steps like what I showed to you, okay? So it's negative 65x equal 11 times 12. So if you don't get the same answer, you redo it, it still not get the same answer. And then you can ask your parents to check. Okay, that can if you express clearly, that can quickly find out where's the mistakes. Okay, so both sides divided by negative 65. So the answer will be 132 divided by 65. So that is the answer. All right. I just said that it's harder to plug this number back to the original equation for x to check whether this is the correct answer. So it should be careful about you know how to about each step when you do the computation. Okay, so you have to show all the necessary steps. Remember, okay. Now, if you did not solve the problem in time, so let's try the next one. Okay, so please work on this problem. I hope someone can, at least 2 or 3 of you can submit the answer within a minute. Okay, I do get answers from Rebecca. Rebecca is always doing very fast and correct. All right, so I got a couple of answers, and thank you, Jack Liu. Good job. And let's see. Okay. All right, so look at this denominator, 2173. I think the least common multiple is going to be 27. So you should multiply each term by 27. So 27 over 20, so multiplied by 21. So 21 over 21 is x. 21 over 3 is going to be 3. Is over 7 is going to be 3. 3 times 5. And 21 over 3 is going to be 7. 7 times 4. Okay. So x equals 15x plus 28. Okay. Then you move 15x to the left. Don't forget to change the sign. Then you get negative 4x, 14x equals 28. And x is going to be negative 14. So after you simplify, you get a negative 2. Okay, Jackie is just probably forgot the negative sign, but Emma did a good job. She gave me the answers in time. Great. Yeah, Rebecca's answer is always correct. Good job. Okay. Now, let's try another problem. Okay. All right, so take a look at this one. This does not look like a linear equation at all at the very beginning. X is in the denominator, right? So you can multiply both sides by x. Okay. So every term multiplied by x equals 3 equals x. 1 times x is x. And 2 over x times x is just 2. So all you have to do is move 2 to the left-hand side, and you get a 5. So x should be equal to 5. That's very simple. Okay, so that means the equation does not look like a linear equation at the very beginning. And you can solve it. You can solve it, by changing to the linear equation. Okay. All right. So let's look at if you have a fraction. These two sides are equal. Okay. So what kind of how do we simplify it? Okay. When you have two fractions here that are equal, that means you subtract it, move the term from the right to the left. Okay. Then you combine them, because the AD minus BC equals 0. So a fraction equals 0 if and only if the numerator is equal to 0. Okay. So in other words, you just do the cross product, AD and BC, that should be equal. So in other words, here AD equals BC. Okay. Yeah. So I should let me repeat again. So if AB equals CD, that's the same as AD equals BC. So that's cross by AD times. Yeah. All right. So now we have the following equation: 2 over x minus 2 equals 3 over x minus 3. It's not a linear equation, so we have to modify it, right? Right? We have to modify it. So you're going to get 2 times x minus 3 equals 3 x minus 2. Right? Then let's see. Let's try to simplify it. So you will multiply this out. It's 2x minus 6. This side will be 3x minus 6. Okay, both sides 6. Both sides, there's a 6 here. You can cancel it, right? So you get 2x equals 3x. Then you can move 2x to the right hand side. So you get x should be equal to 0. So 0 is the solution. Okay, 0 is the solution. Okay, and you go back to check. If you plug 0 for x, it's easy to check this is indeed a solution. 2 over 0 minus 2 equals -1. And the right hand side is 3 over 0 minus 3. Okay. Yeah. All right. So now our next problem is x minus 4 over x minus 3 equals 4. Okay, let's try to find the x. Okay, this is yeah. So this is it's not a linear equation at the beginning, so it's modified. So multiply both sides by x minus 3. Okay, so you get 4 times x minus 3. Then you multiply this out. It's a 4x minus 12, 3 times 4 times 3. Okay, so you get x plus 4 equals what? So let's see. Right? So you will get, so you can move x to the right hand side, then move 12 to, you can do like this. So 4 plus 12, change the sign, 4x minus x. So you get 16, you get 3x. Then both sides divide by 3. So you get x. Okay. So now I'm going to ask you to do the next problem. I give you a time. Okay, x minus 1 over x minus 2 equals x minus 3 over x minus 2 over x minus 3. It's totally new problem, and I never did it here in the class. So I hope you're able to figure it out. Anyone have answers? All right, so we got the one answers. Good job. Okay, so let's do it. And based on what we learned, right? this is equivalent to x minus 1 is a cross product, right? X minus 3 equals x minus 2 times x minus 2. Okay, so we're trying to simplify it. You multiply this out, you get x squared minus 3x minus negative x, negative 1 times negative 3, it's plus 3. So right hand side is x minus 2 squared, so x squared minus twice of this, okay, plus 4, okay? You can get this, okay? So x squared is gone, both sides the same. So you get negative 4x plus 3 equals negative 4x plus 4. Wow, you have the same negative 4 here. So negative 4 canceled out. So you get 3 equals 4. That's impossible. What does it mean impossible? Impossible is if there is a solution, after you simplify, you end up with 3 equals 4. That's clearly it's ridiculous, right? So that means you cannot assume it has a solution. That means there's no solution, okay? No solution, because if there's a solution, you will jump to the conclusion 3 equals 4. It's not, that's definitely impossible, okay? So the answer is no solution. So Jack told me that it's no solution. Good job. Right. So there, it's possible there are no solutions. Sometimes it's possible there are infinite many solutions. So equations at the very beginning, you don't look at their linear equation, but after you simplify, you do get linear equation, okay? Solve this equation like x squared equals x minus 4 squared minus 9, plus 9, yes. Okay, so look at this. This looks like a quadratic equation, right? You have an x squared involved. But when you expand the x minus 4 will be x squared, 4 twice of 4, right? Okay, and the plus 4 squared and 9, right? So let's simplify it. X squared equals x, okay? Minus 8x plus 16 plus 9. And x squared will be gone. Okay, x squared will be gone. So negative 8x, if we move to the left-hand side, becomes positive 8x. Here, 16 plus 5 is going to be, plus 9 is going to be 25. So then you solve for x. You both sides divide by 8. Okay, both sides divide by 8. Okay. Right, just step by step, Yeah, simplify the equation on both sides, then you move terms around, and some x, in this case, x squared is canceled out. So you end up with a linear equation again. So sometimes we have to square the equation, sometimes we have to, before we do that, let's look at the kind of complicated equation here. So we have a 2x minus 5x plus 7. Okay, let's use this. Yeah, that's double here. X minus 1 and equals 1. Okay. So yeah, this is like a parenthesis inside parenthesis. Right. I want to make sure everybody can get the right answer. You get a fraction, definitely. Okay. Maybe you get an integer, maybe not. Okay. All right, so this one has a solution, right? Rebecca, can you get it? Can you get an answer from here, from this equation? Yeah, you got negative 18 over 19. Okay, good. Let's see, step by step, okay? 2x minus 5, x, it's a 7x, right? Multiply this out, minus 7 equals what? Okay, so it's 2x minus 5, x plus 7x, it'll be 8x minus 7 equals what? Let's do step by step, right? Then you move, get rid of this parenthesis again. 2x, 5 times 8 is going to be 40. Negative 5 times 7 is positive, 35. Okay. Then, okay, 2x minus 40 is negative 38x. And you can move 35 to the right-hand side, it's negative 34. Okay. Negative 34. Then, right, it's not 36. I think it's 1 minus 35 is going to be negative 34. So x is going to be negative 34 over negative 38. Yeah. Then you divide, both are even numbers, so it should be 17. Okay. And that is going to be 19. Okay. Is it right, Rebecca? You know, I guess, yeah, there's a small mistakes in subtraction. Yeah. 1 minus 35 is negative 34, not 36. Okay, that's why it's a 17 over 19. Okay. All right. So sometimes we do have to square the both sides. Okay. Now, to simplify the equation, it's involve radicals. So a, b, it's the same as a squared, b squared if a, b are both are positive, okay? If they're not, then you cannot square it. You maybe get more solutions. If you're not sure, in general, you only have, if a equals b, then you get a squared equals b squared. Conversely, this would be, you know, could be negative. A, you know, a squared equals b squared means a equals plus minus b. Okay, so be careful. These two, if you don't put any restriction on a, b, those two are not equivalent. Okay, those two are not equivalent. Okay. So let's try to solve this equation, 2x squared. Okay, we're looking for x satisfying both equations. Okay. Well, you have to square it, right? You can get rid of this. Okay. Okay. So then you get the 1 of x, right? So those two are not equivalent. I just say the above one implies that. Okay. And the square root of something squared, you can get rid of square root, right? Now, again, here's another important thing. Square root a squared is equal to a. This is only when a is greater than or equal to 0. If a is not greater than or equal to 0, the term on the left-hand side is even not defined. Okay. If a is negative, and this is not true. Why? Because of negative. Okay. So it doesn't make sense in elementary mathematics before we study negative numbers, complex numbers. Okay. So so we we don't mention that. Okay, so anyway, square of a, then square usually is always equal to a. So now you have a 2x minus 5. And then let's simplify. Let's compute it. Okay. So move x to the right hand side. Move -5 to the left hand side. So 1 plus 5. And x plus 2x plus x, right? So you will get 6 equals 3x. X equals 6 over 3. That's 2. So 2 is the answer, right? Maybe not. Right? Why? Check it. Square root 1 minus x is going to be 1 minus, okay, this becomes negative, square of -1. Square root 2x minus 5 is going to be 2 times -1 minus 5. So that's also is going to be, no, that's 2, okay, 2 times 2, that's going to be -1. So both sides are going to be -1. That's undefined in real world. Okay. So x, yeah, we cannot say that it has a solution because when you plug into the left hand side, right hand side, for plug plug 2 for x into the expression on the left hand side, right hand side, and it's not defined. Okay. So I have to say that no solution. 2 is not a solution in the usual sense. Okay, in the more general sense, yes, 2 is a solution. Okay, but you have to go to the the field of complex numbers. Okay, because this expression in the real world is not defined. So I have to say that no solution is correct answer here. Okay, no solution is correct answer. Okay, so you have to check, especially involves radicals, you have to check whether there's a solutions or not. Okay, so the next one is 9 plus 4 plus x squared equals 25 plus 10 minus x squared. So that equation, I think for any x, the inside radical is defined. It's never been negative. So all I have to do is just square both sides. So you get 4 plus x squared. Here's 25 plus 10 minus x squared. Right, so simplified, 16 plus 2 times, that's 8x, right? And x squared. Here's 25 plus 10 squared is 100 minus twice of 10, 10x plus x squared. So now you get very complicated equation. So x squared is gone. Let's simplify what is left. Here's 25 plus 8x. That is 25 plus 100 minus 20x. I think 25 should be canceled out. Then you move 20x to the right-hand side. So that'll be 20x equals 100. So 28x equals 100. Then x is going to be 100 divided by 28. 28 is divisible by 4, so it's 4 times 7. Here's 4 times 25. So the answer is 25/7. Right? After you simplify. Okay. Now, I wanted to try to solve this problem. So 1 minus 1 over x over 1 plus 1 over x should be equal to 2. Okay. So please work on this problem. I do get 1 answers from Rebecca. Yeah, Rebecca, the answer is correct. Good job. Okay. So very first step, I think you move 1 plus 1 over x to a side. Okay. Right? Everybody can see that, right? This is. Then you multiply this out. It's 2 plus 2 over x. And then I think you should get rid of x. Each term is multiply x, so you get x minus 1 equals 2x plus 2. Right? The equation is simplified. Okay, every term multiplied by x. So x times 1 is x. X times 1 over x. Okay. Okay, so now, right, then it's easy to x minus 2x is just x. And then negative 1 moved to the other side. So negative x equals 3, and x should be negative 3. Okay, negative 3 is the correct answer. Okay, now we are going to look at a different type of problems. So if x equals 2 is a solution of the following equation, okay, the question is, what is the value of m? So m is a constant here. It's independent of the x variable. So we know 2 is a solution, right? To solve this problem, you just all you have to do is just plug 2 for x into the equation, right? So you get 2 minus 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. So you get another linear equation in EM, right? So now you multiply both sides by 6. 6 over 2 is 3. 6 over 3 is 2. Okay. All right. So now it equals this. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times n is 2n. Right. So I can move. Then it's easy to see, right? I can move 4 to the left-hand side. That's 3 minus 4 equals -2m. -1 equals -2m. M is going to be 1/2. Okay. All right. Now, if you have an equation, something like that, this equation, when this equation has a solution, when this equation has no solution, this equation has a solution only if A is not going to be 0. Okay. So this equation has no solution if A is going to be 0, B is not going to be 0. Okay. Okay. Only when A equals not equal to 0, it has a solution. Otherwise, yeah, it has no solution if A is 0, but B is not equal to 0. In other words, 0 times x equals B, which is not equal to 0. It's impossible because 0 times everything is 0. Okay, no solution. That's obvious, right? Okay. So now we have an equation x minus 1 equals 2 minus ax. If this one has no solution, okay, what is the value of A? Okay, so how do you do that? Let's just go ahead and try to solve it, right? So x minus 1 equals 2 minus x. So what I'm going to do is move this term to the left-hand side, move -1 to the right-hand side. So x plus ax equals 2 plus 1. So I get 1 plus ax equals 3. Now I'm going to solve it, right? So if 1 plus a is not going to be 0, I do get one solution, which is a over 1 plus 3 over 1 plus a, right? But if 1 plus a equals 0, and the above equation becomes 0 equal times x equals 3, so no solution. So when it has no solution, only when 1 plus a equals 0. So answer is, the answer to this problem is a equals -1. Okay, a equals -1. When a equals -1, it has no solution. Okay. All right, so our next problem . Yeah, we're trying to solve the following equation. Okay, and I'm also going to talk about the geometry of this equation, the solution. So kx plus 1 equals 5x minus 3. So what you get here is 5x is moved to left-hand side and the y is moved to the right-hand side. Okay. So you will get k minus 5 times x. It's negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. Okay. So k minus 5 times x equals negative 4. Then there are two cases here. So if k minus 5 is not going to be 0, then you do have one solution. Okay. If k minus 5 equals 0, i.e. k equals 5, then it has no solution. Okay. Now, this is the same as a problem trying to find the two equations. Okay, so find the solution. So kx, go back. Kx plus 1, y is 5x minus 3. So maybe next class, in a couple weeks later, we study system linear equations. You have two equations, right? You're trying to solve this. Yeah. It's slightly different from the above problem. But first of all, you end up with the same equation, right? Equation 1, equation 2. So for example, equation 1 minus equation 2, what do you get, right? So it's the same y here. That's why it's kx plus 1 should be equal to 5x minus 3, right? Then if it has a solution, then you can get y value. Now, geometrically, what we're doing here is suppose, so if k is not equal to 5, so we will get, remember, right? It's negative 4, k minus 5. So you get solution. Then in this case, you can also get the y value, okay? You can also get the y value. So what does that mean? Okay, let's look at the picture here. Later on, we're going to study linear equations, the graphs, okay, coordinate geometry. So basically, here's a one. This is a strict line, and y equals kx plus 1. And 5x minus 3 is like this, the slope. Okay, so it's y equals 5x minus 3. So if k is not going to be 5, means these two lines do not have the same slope, because the line on the top has a slope of k, the line at the bottom has a slope of 5. If k is not equal to 5, these two lines not parallel, so eventually you always get the intersection point. So that means geometrically, when we say it has solution, means they have the intersection point. Okay, so the x, this intersection point, and here x and the y. So x is going to be negative 4 for k minus 5. Okay, then you can figure out the corresponding y value. So that's the geometry meaning. So when k equals 5, means these two lines are parallel, they never intersect with each other, they don't have a solution. Okay, so that's the kind of background geometry I want to mention. But anyway, you just focus on this equation. You don't need to know this coordinate geometry at this moment. And from here, directly, you can see that when k equals 5, it has no solution. When k is not equal to 5, it has a solution. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's take a look at the next problem. Okay, I hope everybody do this problem. Okay, I just want to make it a little bit complicated, right? So I have a half of x minus, okay, and the k over 3, then here's 1 minus 2x equals, could be equal, could be equal to 1. I want to find the k such that it has a solution. Yeah, determine the value of the k. It has no solution there because you have one values. It has no solution. All right. Okay, can you work out this? All right, anyone has answers? All right, let's see. First of all, let's just go ahead and try to solve it. At some point, you will see for some value of a k, you cannot get a solution. So you multiply both sides by 6. So 6 over 2 is 3. 6 over 3 is 2. Right? That's the first step. Then you get rid of the parenthesis. Negative 2x times negative 2k times negative 2x is 4kx equals 6. Okay, right? So clearly these two terms will be combined, plus 4k and the x equals 6 plus 2k, right? So from here, you will see that if 3 plus 4k is going to be 0, it's not going to be 0. What do you get? You get solution, no problem, right? 6 plus 2k and 3 plus 4k. Right? Yeah, let's go back. I'm not sure. Yeah, we did the correct computation. Yes. Okay. Right. So next step, right? So you do get, so what happens if 3 plus 4k is 0? In that case, I think 6 plus 2k is not going to be 0. Do you agree? Yes or not? Yes. Okay. So one side, and the equation becomes 0 times x equals 6 plus 2k, but which is not going to 0, right? So that means no solution. No x, you can make that equation hold. Right? So the answer is to the above problem is what the value k, it has no solution is k equals negative 3/4, not 6. Okay, unless I made the computation mistakes at the very beginning. The idea is clear, right? So we go back to see if we have made mistakes. I don't think so. I multiply 6 on both sides, get rid of fractions. I get 3x minus 2k, right? Then I multiply this out, 2k times 2, 4k, it's positive, yeah. So that's it. So this is all about linear equations. Yeah, we have to deal with some linear equations, where study the case when it has no solution.